Greetings, YouTube community, UFC, MMA fight fans. You've entered the Sports Opinion Log. I'm your boy Lex Anderson, and of course, we're just wrapping up another UFC fight night in the books. Thank you very much for tuning in, as it was a blast, and of course, my co and main event predictions by the Prophet, because I do believe, and seeing is believing, because Junior Dos Santos is back. He knocked out the Black Beast. And yeah, I'm happy. So, DC, fake ass double champ, Daniel Cormier, you can run, but you can't hide. Let's stop bullshitting about the mega fight with Brock Lesnar. Sooner or later, you're going to have to defend that title or just be stripped of it, because Junior Dos Santos is back and he is cutting a clear path to regaining what is his, and that would be the heavyweight championship. But first thing first, we're going to get into the main card. Now, I know I always hype up the prelims, but we have to make an exception for tonight, as it was North Carolina versus the hated, reviled Duke Blue Devils, and of course, North Carolina, UNC, Tar Heel Nation. We end as the ACC champions of the regular season. But you could check out that video in my video library, which is right there below, as that was the first video I made. So I didn't catch much of the prelims. I was playing it on the iPad, but let's face it, the brain is not built to multitask, so I had to focus and give all of my attention to Tar Heel Nation and make sure that we procured the victory. So speaking of procuring and securing victories, let's just check off the main card right here, right now on UFC Fight Night 146, which was in Wichita, Kansas. All right, so for the middleweights, we had Tim Boetsch taking on Omari Akhmedov, who won by decision as the fight went all 3 rounds. In the lightweights, we had Beneil Dariush taking on Drew Dober, who I thought Drew Dober would win. However, he was submitted at 4 minutes and 41 seconds into the second round. For the heavyweights, which was a real bang 'em, throwing down back and forth, we had Blagoy Ivanov take on Ben Rothwell. And Ben Rothwell was killing it in the third round, but like Dana White himself says, don't leave it to the judges, who robbed Ben Rothwell tonight and gave the decision to Blagoy Ivanov. And the fans, the crowd, they were booing, but at the end of the day, the fighters do what they're paid to do. They fight. If you want to boo someone, boo the crappy ass judges. And even on the CompuPunch stats at the end, Rothwell clearly dominated the third round, so that's a shame. But again, that's what happens when you leave it up to the judges, because sometimes you got to make things without a doubt that you got the victory. Because if you leave it up to other people, they might not necessarily decide in your favor. For the welterweights, we had Tim Means taking on Nico Price, and Price withstood our early flurry of blows by Tim Means to knock him out. First round, 4 minutes and 50 seconds in, and as I'm making this video, I made sure to check out the post-fight interviews. And Tim Means, sadly, as he got knocked out, he broke his leg too in the fall. So Nico Price, he came through with the hammer fist. It was just crazy. And at first, I thought Tim Means was woozy, which is why he didn't stand when the announcer rendered the official decision, excuse me. And, broken leg on top of getting knocked out. That will be a rough night in the hospital indeed. But Nico Price, dude's looking good. He took like I said, some early blows, and he's going to take some time off to rest, and he wants to be back in the octagon. So I love those fighters that after a fight, they just want more. And he had called somebody out. Unfortunately, I don't recall who he called out, but yeah, that's always a plus too. Next time I'll make sure to have that information. In the welterweight co-main event, we had Zaleski Dos Santos taking on Curtis Millender. And I was hoping that Millender would do his thing. Unfortunately, according to my girl Desi Robin 23, who is by my side. Not only did he get tapped out by submission at 2 minutes and 35 seconds in the first round, he also didn't even get to throw a blow, right? From what you said, he didn't even land a punch. So Dos Santos, he went in for the takedown, held him down, kept transitioning on his back, and just hit him with that rear naked choke, and that was all she wrote. Or I should say, that was all he tapped. Oh, horrible. And of course, in the heavyweight main event, we had Derek Lewis, aka the Black Beast, with those big lunch pail hands, taking on Junior Dos Santos, the Brazilian, who comes out to Rocky. I'm like, if you're not watching MMA, folks, you gotta watch it, man, because these guys are real deal. And the nationwide sports leader is just giving us fight after fight after fight. Even if you're a casual fan, it's on the nation sports wide leading network. You got to check it out. And Dos Santos, second round by again knockout TKO at 1 minute and 58 seconds into the second round. However, I wasn't happy with Dos Santos throwing what I thought was a blatant thumb in his eye. And then there was the kick that was a body shot, which I thought he kicked him in his groin. The way he ducked down, the way, Derek Lewis folded himself, then Dos Santos went in for the kill and he started throwing punches, and then he hit him again, and then he doubled down again. This was towards the end of the first round. And, the medical doctor came in, and I'm thinking, are they going to call this fight? But he went forward and he lost. So, once again, Dos Santos, salutes to you on your journey back to becoming heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC division. So that is all I have. I thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much to sports fans out there in America and worldwide tuning in, viewing, commenting. Much appreciated, my IGTV family. Thank you all very much for viewing, for liking. Shout out to P the Bag if you are viewing. I thank you very much. And we will now move on to next Saturday in the O2 Arena, which will be great. We have UFC Fight Night 147. That will be starting at 3 o'clock since it's in the O2 Arena, which is overseas. So that means I'll be watching later in my schedule. So I will be back, but the only way you can be a part of it is by doing the right thing and subscribing to this channel. Press the bell icon to your left. There should be, that subscribe button to your left, bell icon to your right. Thing, press it to make sure that you stay updated for any and all upcoming future videos. I thank you very much for tuning into this video. This is your boy Lex Anderson, MMA fight fans. We're not gonna pop our collar, you know what I'm saying, because it's pre-fight time. It's time to get ready to rumble. What's your stance?